And this is TikTok's last legal shot, right? The company has been fighting a law that is set to take effect on January 19th that bans the app nationwide unless it splits off from its Chinese parent company, ByteDance. It recently lost a lower court appeal, and now the Supreme Court has scheduled expedited oral arguments, and the hearing is happening in 3 weeks.
What are the main issues the court is being asked to resolve?
Yeah, the case is about the balance between free speech and the possible threat of a foreign adversary. TikTok has long said that the Chinese government doesn't collect data on Americans and does not use the app to push propaganda, but U.S. officials say the risk of that happening is just too high and that the app has to be put out of business unless it sheds its China-based owner. Legal scholars say because of the First Amendment, government restrictions on speech are very hard to uphold in court. Usually the government can only suppress speech if it's really narrowly tailored to deal with a really specific problem. And a lower court ruled that the Chinese issue is actually enough to justify the ban. But now the Supreme Court is reviewing it, and they could just come down differently.
So it's TikTok's argument that this ban violates Americans' free speech rights?
Yeah, that's right. The 170 million Americans on the app, and actually TikTok's own free speech rights, they say, as a corporation, because they have a LA-based company, and using the algorithm and pushing content, courts have shown, is another type of free speech. So there's kind of two free speeches at play here.
Okay, so what could this mean for the tens of millions of Americans who use TikTok? I mean, some people use it every day.
Oh, yeah. So if the court overturns the law, business as usual for the app. But if it is upheld, it could mean the app is going away very soon. The law is slated to start, in early January. And at that point, TikTok, will be kicked out of app stores on Apple and Android devices. So you won't be able to download it. And the app will lose web hosting services. So, all the companies that provide back-end support for TikTok, they'll have to drop the company. And if this happens, Michelle, it's not like the app's going to disappear from everyone's phone overnight or something. It's just going to get buggy. It's going to get slow. And eventually it's not going to be able to get software updates. So it'll stop working. Backing up for a moment here, though, never before has the Supreme Court taken on a case over the U.S. government trying to shut down a massive social media platform. So this is entering some uncharted territory. And, President-elect Donald Trump's administration is watching very closely.
And where does Trump stand on this?
Trump has given mixed signals on TikTok. He said he wanted to save the app and that he credits it with helping young voters turn out for him. But, just this weekend, he said on NBC's Meet the Press if he will rescue the app, and he gave kind of an unclear, wishy-washy answer. Remember, Trump tried to ban TikTok during his first term and was not successful. No matter what the court decides, though, the Trump administration has a ton of power here. If the Supreme Court upholds his law, his administration will be tasked with interpreting and enforcing it. So if TikTok loses at the Supreme Court, they're hoping Trump will just step in and rescue the app anyway.
That is NPR's Bobby Allen. Bobby, thank you.
Thanks, Michelle.